Hello YouTube, this is Brian Tubbs coming at you with another video. Today I'm just kind of showing you guys what I'm doing. So what I'm working on today is what's called a Trefoil knot. This is all aluminum. I normally don't work with aluminum that much, but I'm in the process of kind of not switching over from stainless steel and core 10 and mild steel. I'm going to just be adding more aluminum, to the mix. Again, this is a Trefoil knot. This tube is 1.5 inches square, and what I do is I was doing some MIG welding with a spool gun just to get the pieces locked together, and then I went back and TIG welded everything in, and then grind everything down and put some grind marks in, just give it some interest. And what I'll be doing with this is putting it on a base, probably about 40 inches tall, and we will pick one of the points to set it on. I'm not exactly sure which point we want to use yet. I might even use this point. So the piece will be, say, 16 inches on the base, on the ground portion. Then it'll taper up to probably 2 or 3 inches on the top. There'll be 4 sides, so it'll come from kind of wide, taper up to maybe, like I said, 2 or 3 inches. I'll have a round disc welded to the top of the base, which will be more likely the core 10 or mild steel. I'll drill a hole through it. 1.25 inch hole will be drilled to that, and then on the bottom of this I will have a plate welded to the bottom, and then there will be, let me grab, it'll be a pole. This is 1.25 inch diameter aluminum post. This is a thin wall post. This is about 16 gauge wall. When I say wall, I'm talking about this edge here. This is like 16 gauge, somewhere in there. But the piece I'm actually going to use is 1/8 inch. It'll be 3 inches long, but this is 2 feet long. I mean, the other one will be 3 feet long. This is 2 feet long. It'll be welded to this piece. We just got to come up with the orientation we want. It'll be welded to there, and then I'll have let me grab this piece for you. And then over the piece, the disc on top of the base, I will have this piece, which is about 1.5 inches. This is about 1/4 inch wall aluminum. I will have another piece welded to here. I have a hole drilled through the center. The pipe will go through the center of this, and then that piece will be sitting on top of this, and so you won't see the pipe, because this will be covered, and that'll just be coming up out of the piece. And then this ring will slide down, and the pipe will slide down to the hole in the base, and then this will slide over, and this outer ring will cover the inner ring of the core 10 or mild steel, so you won't see that ring. And then I will have ordered some bearings. I'll have a roller thrust bearing under here. It looks like a washer, but it has a bunch of little roll bearings on it. They look like little round, really small diameter, probably about I don't know, 1/4 inch long, little bearings all the way around. On the bottom of that roller bearing, there's a washer, flat washer, and on the top there's a flat washer. And the roller bearing is sandwiched between those 2 washers. So when someone walks up to this piece and spin it, the washer will be flush with the bottom of this, the bearing will be between, and then the other washer will be sitting on the disc on top of the base. So when they spin it, that bearing on the inside of those two washers will be doing the spinning. And then on the inside of the base, I also ordered this type of bearing. It's called a pillow. It's pillow bearing. It has another name to it, but it's a pillow bearing. So it's kind of shaped like this. An actual bearing is in the center, and it has holes bored on each side, so you can attach it to something and with screws. So this is going to go down into the base. I'm going to have two of those bearings in the base. I'm going to have probably a 1/4 inch bar going from one side of the base inside, going to the other side, so it'll bridge the gap. I have one bearing sitting on top, and the other one will be sitting on the bottom of that plate. So this will slide through the top bearing, then it'll slide down into the other two bearings, and then I'll lock them in. And so I could use one bearing on the inside and one on top, but you have a chance of it moving back and forth when people roll it. You spin it, it could have some play in it. So what you want to do is you want to double stack your bearings. You want to have one bearing on top, one on the bottom of the plate. So when this goes into that hole, the top bearing will cancel out the bottom bearing, and the bottom bearing will cancel out the top bearing, so you can't get play. It'll just be straight. And that's how we do our bearing stacking when we do pieces that spin. You don't just put one bearing in there and have a hole drilled in the top of a plate and spin it, because eventually that hole, if there's no bearing in there, will start wearing out on the metal around it. And if you only have one bearing down in the plate, your piece will move back and forth. So, I mean, I'm telling you guys this now, but once I get the base started for it, I'll go into more detail and kind of show you guys what I'm talking about, because it's kind of hard to explain it without having the bearings here and without having the base, partially built. But I guess I'm just kind of getting you guys kind of set up to know what will be coming most likely on the next video. It might be the next one or the one after the next. But either way, I will be showing you guys how it's done. And the reason I'm using aluminum is because I want that top piece to be light. I mean, this piece probably weighs maybe 5 or 6 pounds at the most. May not even weigh that much. But the problem is when you build like a trefoil and it's not exactly in balance, wherever we mount that tab to, it has to be the most balanced point. Or if not, when a person spin it, it's going to want to throw itself out and come back and throw itself out. So we were going to use stainless steel to do it, but using stainless steel tube, something like that would probably be about 30 pounds. And I don't want 30 pounds floating around, because we'd have to build your base so wide on the bottom that it would just take away from the character of the piece. It just wouldn't look right. So by having it really lightweight on the top, they can spin it all they want, and it's not gonna want to throw the base left to right. It'll just spin. So that's the aluminum project. It's called Trefoil knot right now, but I'm sure we're going to come up with a different name. My wife always comes up with the names of them, so I'm not sure what it's going to be. But it's going to be in our usual style. It's going to be, normally we'll have like stainless steel on top, and then the base will be core 10. We always mix those two metals together, but now we're going to like core 10 and aluminum. And I even thought about doing the whole piece in aluminum, the base, everything. But just to get that contrast, we're gonna go with either mild steel or core 10 base, just to do something different. And what you see here is the piece we call flags. We do quite a few of these, but with this one, we sold this to a neighbor of ours about 2 years ago. And then this is all stainless steel, but the base on it is mild steel. So when I first finished the piece, the neighbor, she lives in the neighborhood that we live in, came by. It was in the wintertime. She saw it sitting out, I had just set it outside, and she said she wanted it. So I said, okay. But see, the problem is when you guys are making these pieces, any art piece, you really want the customer to see the finished product. You don't want them to see it when it's going through its stages. So this piece looked like it was all stainless steel, the base, everything, because the stainless steel, the base right now is shiny because I got all the mill scale and everything off of it. So it's shiny just like the stainless steel is. And so I didn't think about it because it happened so fast. I just sprayed, what did I put? I put some Penetrol on it. Just brushed it on there, and it was sitting. And it was just kind of a test piece just to see what it would look like after a certain period of time. But I'll let you guys know a little secret. A lot of artists use Penetrol to cover their like mild steel or stainless steel when they don't know how to do it properly. And they'll tell the customer it's going to last forever. But the Penetrol will only last probably a good 3 months, maybe 4 months, something like that. And then moisture is going to start getting through it because it has porous areas. So the moisture will start getting through, and then it'll start rusting from the inside. And like I said, I was just kind of testing this piece to see what it would do. But the lady came and she wanted it so bad that we went ahead and sold it to her with the Penetrol on it. They put it outside. The Penetrol on this one held up for almost a year. And then you start seeing like little rust spots coming through. And then it sat outside over the winter. And then by the time the spring came, it was completely rusted. But it was gorgeous. Because you had that the rusted base, then you had this shiny stainless steel coming up out of it. It was really, really nice. But she just happened to be a woman that didn't like rust. Her husband loved it, but she just didn't like rust. So what I did, just drove over to her house, picked it up, told her I would bring it back here and just take it all back down to shiny metal and spray a clear coat on it. It's a clear coat by Sculpt Nouveau, and it's called Clear Guard. But Clear Guard is primarily made for your indoor pieces. So I sprayed the Clear Guard on it. I had it here for about a week and a half. Had it down out of the elements. Didn't get any like contaminants on it or anything like that. Just put it away by itself, let it dry. Took it back to their property, put it back in place, and about 3 weeks later, my wife happened to be walking past their home and just took a look at it, and there was rust starting to accumulate under the clear coat. And so what I realized, there was two things I realized, and this is going to be a tip for you guys. Whenever you are using stainless steel or mild steel and you want to clear coat it, you must take a torch. I'll show you guys an example of a torch that I have. This is my my torch. I have this one. I think you guys have seen me use this one in videos when I'm painting, you know, the small tabletops. I'll use this to heat the metal up. I did a video where I was using this to get the moisture out of the metal. And when I sprayed it, when I was holding this torch in, you can see the moisture in the metal just rising up and evaporating. And so for large pieces, we'll use this torch. This torch goes to a propane tank. So you just turn the propane on, you turn this nozzle on, you get a lighter and you light it. And when you pull this trigger, the flame just shoots out. It's designed for burning weeds. Like if you have, you know, like a large field or whatever, you would use this to burn the weeds. But we use this to get the moisture out of our large pieces. You know, on the next video, I might even make it a part of this video. There's a piece we made for one of the Tesla facilities in the area. They commissioned us to make a large piece. It's called the Guardian. We had to use this torch to heat the metal up to get all the moisture out of it, because we were putting a patina on the piece. And if you can use this, put the patina on, gotta let the patina sit there for about 3 days. And then we took this torch again and heated the metal up. And there was so much moisture in that metal that when I put the torch on it, the moisture came out and like started running down the metal. It was that much moisture trapped in that metal. So what we did was we had to heat the whole thing up, let it go back to room temperature, and then we use these two products. It's called Everclear. It's by Sculpt Nouveau. I'll get a little closer so you guys can see that. Everclear by Sculpt Nouveau. And this is the hardener that goes in it. It's a 3 to 1 part formula. So you put 3 parts of this clear in, put 1 part of the hardener in. Then you have to mix them together and let them sit for 10 minutes before you can start spraying them. But the key to success with that clear coat or any clear coat is getting all the moisture up. Because a lot of people, they will use this product, but they'll have issues shortly after they put the product on, or it could be somewhere down the road, the product will start peeling off of the sculpture, or it will start rusting underneath the clear coat. Or if they sprayed it over like stainless steel, the stainless steel will be like really cloudy. And what the problem is they didn't heat the piece up to get the moisture up. So the piece was cold, it was full of moisture. So when they sprayed the clear coat over it, the clear coat trapped the moisture inside. And maybe on a hot day, the moisture wants to come out, wants to evaporate out. It can't evaporate out because you have this Everclear locking it in. So the piece is either going to go cloudy, or the clear coat is going to start breaking off because of all the moisture underneath it. So the key to stainless steel or mild steel, when you want it to be shiny, when you want a clear coat, you have to heat it up to get all the moisture out so it won't rust underneath the clear coat or won't start breaking the clear coat off. And being hasty with this piece, it's been about almost a month now. I didn't use my torch to heat the piece, sprayed the clear coat on. I didn't use Everclear, I used ClearGuard, which is both Sculpt Nouveau, but Everclear is designed for extreme outdoor conditions. It'll last a long time. The clear guard, like I said before, is designed for your pieces that you're going to put indoors. It won't be out in the moisture. So I didn't heat it up to get the moisture out, and I used clear guard. And so after about, it's probably 3 weeks or so, maybe a month, maybe. I don't think it was quite a month. Like I said, my wife walked up to it, and she noticed some rust starting to form in spots. And I knew right away that I forgot to heat it up to get the moisture out. So it was starting to rust from underneath the clear coat. So then it would just be a matter of the clear coat either starting to break off, or that rust will just have covered everything. So what I'm doing now, I took, let me see if I can get a pad for you guys. I took this pad right here. It's very porous, it's hard, it's extra coarse. It's by Perform Max. It's a 4.5 inch paint and rust remover. So I use this to take all the clear coat off. I didn't use a regular grinding bit because the grinding bit would have loaded up with the clear coat, and it would have just been not worth much of anything. I would have probably been going through 4 or 5 grinding discs just to do the base on this thing. So I used this and took all the clear coat off and took all the rust off with it. And then what I'm going to do is use just a regular 40 grit disc on a angle grinder and put the lines back in it. Get my the grinding lines in, which will, when I spray it this time with the clear coat, it'll have even more bite into the clear coat, and I'm going to heat it up this time. So this will probably last, I don't know, 10 years, 15 years. Once I do it this time, do it right this time. I'm going to just swing the camera down so you guys can see what I'm talking about with the base. And I'm going to run a few lines in it, just let you guys see how I do it. And then that'll be about it, because I'm going to have to go and move on to do some other things today. And now I think I'm going to have like a 2-part video within a video. I'll be showing you guys the piece that I made for Tesla, and I made 2 other pieces. They're different. We're just kind of changing up our style. We still do what we used to do, but we're just doing new things. Just because when you create, you just want to just go higher and higher and higher. You don't want to just stay in one spot. You want to constantly do more, get better, change up. So I think I will have that video kind of locked in with this video, I'm thinking, or it could be a separate video, but we'll see. So what I'm gonna do now is get you guys in closer to the base so you can see what I'm doing, just to show you guys and give you guys an idea of how I do it. All right, guys, so this is the base that I'm talking about. It's probably 18 by 22, somewhere in there. And again, this is all stainless steel, and this is mild steel. But when you look at them, you can't tell the difference. This looks like stainless steel, but it's not. So it looked like this when I sold it to her. And again, it was just a test piece, but she wanted it so bad, we sold it to her. And I knew that when she came back, if she didn't like it, when it turned rust, I would just bring it back and just redo this, take it back down to this. So this is the second time I've had it back, because the first time, like I said, started getting some rust under the clear coat. And I just want to do right by our customers. And so it's not a big deal. I'll just take my grinder, and what I do is I make like a sun pattern, where I'll come from here and just go all the way around. just grind marks all the way around. Everything will start from the center coming out. So I'll just show you guys just a few strokes, just let you see how I do it. And I have to go ahead and end this video because I got some, like I said, I got some other things I have to do right quick. But I want to turn your volume down because this gets kind of loud, and I don't want to blow your eardrums out. So here we go. And you just keep going around the piece. Now just keep moving the piece and keep grinding. If you guys can see the pattern, we just call it it's like a sun burst, if you will. All right, guys. So that's how we do it. I mean, again, I just took a that was a 40 grit grinding flap FLAP disc, and I put it on its front edge. Let me grab it. I don't lay it flat when I'm pulling, like I don't lay it like this flat when I'm pulling. I lay it right on the tip, and I pull right with the tip, and that cuts in, and it puts about an 1.5 to 2 inch path on there each time. If you lay it flat, you don't know what you're gonna get. You'll get a lot of like circles. I mean, sometimes they can be attractive if you do it consistently, or sometimes it'll just cut too deep into the metal, and it'll be like this ugly thing that you can't get out because it's cut in so deep. So if you concentrate just holding here and holding on the back and keeping it on that front edge as you pull, just pull. This way, you go that way, you go that way. If you've seen like the piece, like Heart of Man, for example, on the base, you see the lines going like this. You just take this and pull it. That's all you gotta do is pull it. However you wanna draw the line, You're just drawing it with this. It's like using a paintbrush. And if you use a 40 grit, it'll get down, either 40 or 36 will be your deepest cuts, and they'll show up the most. But if you just want faint lines, you can use like a 120 or 80. You'll see them, but they won't be as crisp as a 40 or 36 grit grinding flat disc. So I guess the takeaways from this, the tips, the secrets, is when you want to draw on metal, use your tip or your grinder. And if you're going to clear coat metal, you always want to take your torch, being careful, and heat the metal up until you see the moisture started rising up out of it. We're not trying to get the metal to like a 300 degrees or something like that. No, we just want the metal hot enough that we'll start seeing moisture rise to the top and the moisture start evaporating off. That's all you want to do. You don't want to get it hot. So once you've gone throughout the whole piece with the heat, then shortly after that, you will shoot your clear coat on. And then the clear coat will trap the moisture out of the metal. The moisture can't get back into the metal as easily. But when you sculpt Nouveau, they have a cleaner that you'll use. It's called I think it's a degreasing cleaner that you'll use for their product. So I have that set up. So I'll be using that. After I've done this, I take it and clean it with their cleaner, rinse it off, and then let it completely dry. They say you can let it air dry, but I'd never let it air dry. I'll just take my torch and get the water off the surface and the moisture out. And then I'll probably put 3 coats of the Everclear on. Now I'll show you what I'll use to put it on. I know you guys normally see me when I do the like the smaller tabletop pieces, I'll use like a can of automotive paint. But for the clear guard, I just use my spray, my HVLP, high volume, low pressure spray gun. And then when I'm painting larger pieces, I'll use an automotive spray gun as well. So like most of my smalls, I'll use like your Rattle can, but I don't use cheap. It's pretty expensive paint. But when I really want to, put some paint down, like on the bigs for outdoor, I'll use this. So that's what I'll be using to put the clear coat on here. And then after that, I'll go back to this, getting this ready. I got to finish grinding it and dressing it up, and then I'll be putting the bracket on, and then I'll be welding the pole to the bracket, and then I'll hopefully I'll have the bearings come in tomorrow. Then I can go and get the bearings set up, and then I can decide on how tall exactly I want the base to be, and then we'll start building the base, and probably have this thing done probably it could be Thursday. Today is Tuesday, so you can have it done by Thursday, and then I'll get the base ready, prep it up so we can start bringing the patina out of the base. So fun project. It's new, it's different, so it's cool. Well, all right guys, this is Brian Tubbs again, and get out there in your garage, your shop, and start making some stuff. I think I've shared enough information for you guys to get out there and just start doing something, just creating something. If you make mistakes, so what? I make mistakes all the time. I don't care. I just fix them and make them look good. Because with art, people don't know whether you intended to do something or if it was a mistake. It's art. So you get out there and just start having some fun. All right, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Again, it'll probably be a follow-up to this, or it could be me showing you guys the piece, the Guardian, and I built 2 other crazy looking pieces that I'll be showing you guys. All right, Brian Tubbs, see you guys on the next one. Peace out.